Hey there everybody, Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter.
This video is a discussion about Clare Crawley season of The Bachelorette. This is a season that it's really just kind of conceptual at the moment, honestly, because it was supposed to be filming at this point. It's not filming for pretty obvious reasons. All you have to do is look at the headlines. But there continue to be insistences from Chris Harrison and production that this will happen eventually. So we'll talk a little bit about what that could look like, but let's start with the news that it seems as though there is going to be a big recasting of this season, and we'll talk about what that could look like.
Yeah.
Before we dive in, though, if you do like this video, remember to give us a like, subscribe, ring that bell. We're going to have a lot of coverage on Bachelor Nation.
Yeah, we will.
You know, this is like the weird just extended hiatus. It's indefinite. We don't know when it's going to be back.
Yeah, there's a drought right now in Bachelor Nation, but we're still going to be bringing you news.
There is Bachelor Presents Listen to Your Heart. That is already being finished, so don't worry. That's still going to happen, everyone. Let's get excited. Okay, yeah,
I don't think anybody's worried about not getting that.
You don't want to see the guy in the guitar in bed?
You love that part.
It was just really weird. It's like, why does this guy have a guitar in bed with this? He doesn't have a shirt on. I didn't understand, but okay.
Nobody ever has a shirt on The Bachelor.
That's true. Okay, well, anyway, Chris Harrison, like many other people, and I do applaud a lot of entertainment personalities for recognizing that they have an ability to make people feel better in these difficult times. I know he and Warren Zima, they've done a lot of like Instagram live stuff this week as everybody is just kind of keeping to themselves. And he talked a little bit about how it's pretty inevitable that we're going to see a new cast, maybe a mixture between some of the people who were previously announced and some new people. Maybe it will be new altogether, but it's a pretty substantial change from what we already had, which is, here, take this cast, which includes a lot of like 25-year-old dudes who were clearly cast before Claire was announced.
Yeah, and usually that's kind of how it goes. I'm sure they have a reserve of people that they were looking for beforehand, before they knew who it was going to be. Now we have Claire. Claire is 38. She may or may not want somebody who's in their early 20s. You never know. You never know, right? I mean, 12-year age difference, it can happen, and it does happen. But I'm sure she probably wants to have a few more people in the cast that are maybe a little bit closer to her age as well as an option, instead of an entire cast of 20-year-olds.
I think we got to find a good name for this. I'm going to propose the Dudebro Reserve, which is just like these 25 guys who all played like college football, who all have like the same photo of themselves on the beach with their cap backwards, with like the abs. These guys are always there for them.
Absolutely. They are always there, and this does not seem like the right cast for Claire.
Yeah.
Claire feels like someone who's going to bring us a little more maturity to this season, which is something that I think we all desperately want after what we just watched with Peter's season, where it was just drama on top of immaturity on top of what that ending was.
And I know Claire, I think, said in her opening interviews for this season that she's dated a lot of younger men before, and that's still maybe something that she's interested in. But there is a difference between I'm interested in dating younger men potentially to, okay, here, take almost every guy who is substantially younger than you, and then maybe one or two around the same age or older. I mean, you and I, we've talked a lot on these videos about how it's really more about maturity than it is age.
Yeah, it is more about maturity than it is age, but at the same time, she may want to just have a deeper pool of different types of people than just everybody sort of like a 20-year-old dude.
Yeah.
So now that she is the Bachelorette, they are going to be doing some recasting. They're going to be bringing in some different types of men, which I'm pretty excited about, because I don't really want to watch a whole season of Dude Bros either. I mean, this is a show that I really enjoy for, the drama near the beginning of the season, but by the end of the season, I want to be swept away. This whole show is supposed to be a little bit about fantasy as well, and romance, and we're at this beautiful place with these gorgeous sunsets and wonderful romance, and I'm going to have a harder time believing that all of the 20-year-old dude bros are all going to be on the same level as Clare. There are people who are younger that are more mature, but there are people who are younger who are not. And this show, after last season, seemed to only cast everybody who was looking for drama or some kind of, clownery going on.
Yeah,
it was just a clown car. So hopefully this season we're going to have something a little bit different. With Clare as the lead, there's going to be a lot less nonsense, I feel. She didn't put up with any nonsense when she was on Juan Pablo's season. I don't think she's going to put up with a lot of nonsense here either. So I'm kind of wondering how much of casting then, now that they're recasting, are going to be looking for people who are going to be a lot less nonsense. Because I feel that she will just cut them, and she'll cut them quick.
I'm sure that's going to be a really, really big part of it. I think, obviously, production wanted to be filming right now, and for the sake of TV industry, the crew, it's better for everyone if they were filming right now.
Yep.
I do think that this is an opportunity for them to try to get something right that they didn't get right previously, and it's not even like I think that production intentionally tried to cast a bunch of immature dude bros. They just didn't have time. Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do. I mean, after watching what just happened on this season felt like they were just casting for drama, and they, like, in that pool wasn't really there. Besides maybe Hannah Ann was not really there to find somebody. I think I'm trying to give them a benefit of the doubt here. I might be wrong with it. It's just because I think they probably only had like a week between when Clare was announced and when all the stuff had to be kind of locked in, that I just don't think they had time to really get her the right people, and they probably had a bunch of people who were interested in being with Hannah Ann or Madison or like some of these sort of people. But yeah, they might have also still been casting for drama when they are.
That is not what Clare is clearly looking for one way or another.
Yeah, and that's why I'm pretty interested in seeing what this season's about, because Peter's season was clearly the drama season, and they do look for people to cause drama. And if people aren't going to cause drama, then producers are going to cause drama by like all that stuff with Victoria F. and let's bring in her ex-boyfriend. I mean, that was something that was completely out of her control, and producers were trying to make these moments. So I don't think this is going to be a season of Clare where it's just drama free. I'm sure she's going to have some of that going on. But I think they probably have heard everybody's concerns about this past season, and that it was really a lot more negative than it needed to be.
And I think now the sort of question they have to figure out beyond how do we get the cast together, it's also, okay, when can we actually project doing this? Because I'm sure that is a big issue with casting, because these people have to take time off work, take time away from their lives, and it's pretty much impossible to do that when you don't know when you're actually going to be doing it.
Yeah, so it makes me wonder if the people that are going to be getting cast are people with more flexibility in their jobs.
I think that would probably have to be that way. It's either that or they're just going to have to cast really, really last minute.
Yeah.
It sounds as though the hope is, at least based on everything that I've heard, that maybe they will be able to do it at some point either later this spring or summer. And if that is the case, we probably will have a chance to see The Bachelorette before the fall season starts.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, it's a crazy idea, but maybe they would switch out The Bachelorette and Paradise if they found a way to make Paradise work earlier, and they could put Paradise on earlier. It seems like Summer Games is just no...
Yeah, I was just going to say, Summer Games is probably just going to get scrapped, and then we'll have Bachelorette, and then we'll have Paradise, and Paradise needs to be pushed a little bit, that they would just do that and push a little bit further, because I'm sure they're going to want to grab a few people from Clare's season to throw them on Paradise.
I'm sure they would want to, and I think in general, I think format-wise, the show has something that works for it, and if we're trying to think about, okay, what else could they try to change now that they have this time to sort of sit around and really, really think about it, I think it is finding a better balance between actually getting us a chance to know these people versus here are some people fighting and yelling about champagne, because this is the real thing. Everybody started to become Hannah Ann fans the very last night of the finale. And
except for me.
Yeah, except
I
for
liked
you.
her. I thought she was getting clowned from the get-go with that champagne gate thing. It was all ridiculous.
It wasn't like I disliked Hannah Ann. I knew nothing about Hannah Ann other than that she was a model and she kind of liked art for about 2 months. And you gotta change that.
Yeah, and the other thing I'd really like to see change is if Claire doesn't end up with anybody, that's okay. I would rather have seen Peter sitting there without Madison and just this whole like story that was put together by Chris of how Peter left Hannah Ann to be with Madison, but he never picked up the phone, and these two clearly weren't together. Like, that's what it felt like watching them. These two were not together in that finale. I think it's okay for this process once in a while to not work. It makes it all a little more real. And I mean, I say that kind of lightly because it is The Bachelor and this is still a TV show. But at the same time, if things don't work out in life, and sometimes maybe the person he's supposed to be with isn't there. They only are bringing on 25 or 30 people. I mean, what are the chances of that your wife being in that group or your husband being in that group? They're actually not that high. So I would like to see in Claire's season, if she is not interested in anybody, I would rather see her at the end of this talking about why the process didn't work for her, but what some of the things in the process were that did work for her. I would just like to see the show give a little more honesty with the end, because that happy ending that we just got with Peter was not real. I don't think anybody really bought into that. And it just kind of left the season being like, well, that just felt like kind of a farce.
Are people going to like this idea? I don't really know. I would like it. I think it would be interesting to see Claire not pick anyone as long as she articulates the reason why and they give her a platform. To me, that would be just as interesting as seeing just sort of some weird, like, hacky, put-together package that doesn't really feel authentic. Like, if you want people to buy into the show, I think it's okay to say sometimes, hey, the show didn't work this time. We screwed it up. Either the cast wasn't right, the romance wasn't right. That's just true to life.
Or just her person wasn't there.
That is okay.
If that's the way that it goes. I don't know. I have a lot of faith in Claire as the lead, that she's going to be very honest, and she's going to be honest with us, and she's not going to take any crap from anybody. So if the process doesn't work, meaning just maybe her guy's not in this group, that they'll allow the ending to just be that.
Well, all I'm hoping for right now in the end is just that we get the season. I would like some of these suggestions to be factored in, but we'll have more news as it starts to come out. For now, though, let's get your guys' thoughts on all of this. I mean, do you think that recasting Claire's season is a good idea given the circumstances? When do you think we could actually get it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you do enjoy this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store. And we'll see you here next time.